I'd like to talk about mental health in men and boys. I've been away for a little while and I've not actually recorded a video for a while, for a few weeks. So I went away, came back to the UK, and then I did some training, and I'm now an ASIST instructor as well as a mental health first aid instructor. And ASIST stands for Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training, and I'm really proud of that. It's a fantastic course, and I wish that hope that you sort of look out for it. And if you can jump onto a 2-day course, ASIST 2-day course, then please do that. It's very effective, very powerful, and very empowering. Okay. Now, the mental health side of things, I've been delivering quite a few courses just very recently, and the turnout that I usually have on the courses is about 70 to 80% women and 20-30% male. And that really reflects why I'm making this video, because if we talk about the stats when it comes to suicide, in the UK, we lose, in the whole of the UK, we lose over 7,000 people per year, all right, in the UK due to suicide. And 2/3 of those people are male and 1/3 is female. Well, there's something not quite right here. I have more and more men coming to me and saying, and they use sort of a narrative that's quite similar, and that narrative is something to this effect. They say, well, what's the point of me talking about my mental health? It's not going to do anything. It's not going to make it go away. I'm still going to have those problems, and I'm just going to look like, you know, a sissy, or a word to that effect. Okay. Now, the thing is that talking about what's going on up here or how you're feeling here in your core might not make things go away, and that's not really the main reason of us talking and listening. Okay, the main reason is that you are saying something out loud, out in the open, something that you have maybe been thinking, and those negative ruminating thoughts that have been going on around your head, and then the feelings that you're having in your sort of chest, that sinking feeling, is something that you've almost got used to doing, and so that you don't even notice that you're doing it anymore. You just see it as the norm, or it's normal for you to be thinking or feeling in that way. Because you think, well, no, what's the point in sharing? No one's going to be able to do anything. My problems are still going to be there. Yes. But saying things out loud helps you to hear it for the first time, because your ears are actually hearing it back. And it brings things out in the open. Also, the person that you are sharing with, hopefully they are a good listener, and they're not interrupting you. They're not trying to finish your sentences for you. They're not trying to jump to conclusions or make assumptions or fix things. They're just listening. And they might paraphrase every so often and say something back and say, oh, so you're telling me that, you know, you are feeling and thinking this way, which is affecting your day-to-day life in this way, or whatever that case may be, whatever that person is sharing with you. So you can hear it back. By hearing it back, you can sometimes compartmentalize things. You can sometimes see things from different perspectives. You can sometimes come up with the conclusions or some solutions yourself that you weren't doing because there was just too much noise in there and too much going on for you to have the ability to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how human beings are and the life that we're leading now, which is sort of usually juggling so many things at the same time. So as I say, it might help you compartmentalize things. And there's nothing, and you know, there's still this thing about, and the stigma around men and mental health, that you're showing your vulnerabilities, and that shows weakness. And I might not be seen, you know, if I'm in a management position and I've got people around me, you know, people that work around me, young men that are, you know, that are working, let's say, for me. If I show my vulnerabilities, well, I'm going to show weakness, and if I show weakness, then they're going to think, well, you know, they're going to think negatively about me being a leader or running this business, and am I actually equipped to run it? It actually does the complete opposite. It actually shows that you are human, that we all have something that we are working with, carrying. And by doing that, it changes the culture, the environment that we are working in. And if we can sort this out in the workplace, we can actually then take that out into our personal lives as well. So it really is about sorting it out in our workplace, and it comes from the top. So it means managers, supervisors, team leaders to share their struggles with their workforce. And it doesn't mean that they are weak, it just means that they are human. And it allows others to talk and share. Because, you know, we've been using that kind of language all these years. You know, leave your personal problems at the door. Don't bring them into work with you. You know, we don't want you to do that. You know, man up and soldier on, and, you know, keep calm and carry on, and whatever those sayings are that we have heard floating around for years and years and years. Well, we're paying the price now by the fact that, you know, 2/3 of people that take their own life in the UK are men. So there's something that we're not quite doing right, is it? You know, we don't get from completely healthy, you know, men and boys who are mentally and physically completely healthy to suicide. There's things going on in between, isn't there, to get people there, to make people feel that there is no other way out. You know, this pain is so excruciating that the only way out of this is to take my own life. And this wasn't really a video about suicide per se. It was really about men coming forward and talking about their mental health, because they think that it's not going to make it go away, but it might help you to see things from a different perspective, from a perspective that you weren't doing before, by airing things, by saying things out in the open, by taking out from here and here and putting it on the table and saying, well, this is really what I'm struggling with right now. It shows strength. It shows courage. It shows that you are forever growing and learning. And that's a part of resiliency. Resiliency isn't just getting knocked down and standing up and carrying on, you know, with your wounds. It's, how have I grown? What have I learned? What can I do things? How can I do things differently now? How am I a better person from this? How have I reached and become a better version of myself because of what I've just gone through back there? How is that going to, and how am I then going to influence the young men in my life, my sons, my nephews, the people that, you know, my employees? How am I going to help them? Well, I'm going to help them by encouraging, you know, discussion, encouraging talking about what's going on up here and in here, so that we don't get to any crisis point. So we become a culture where we can talk about things, not talk about, spend all, you know, your 8 hours at work, you know, doing some sort of group counselling. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to instigate that, and I'm not trying to encourage that. What I'm saying is, we can signpost people to getting the help that they need if they are struggling in any way. And that's important to acknowledge, to allow people to acknowledge what they are carrying in themselves, so that they can talk about it and bring it out into the open. And by doing that, we help each other. And that's what's important. Okay. Now, we have got more and more people, you know, celebrities coming forward and talking about their mental health. We've got people in the royal family talking about their mental health, and that's all good. That's all well and good. But on a day-to-day basis, I am still finding, you know, I'm delivering mental health first aid training in sort of construction industry, which is predominantly men, and the you know, people actually coming forward and actually taking this training on is quite poor, because they don't feel that, especially in industries such as construction, it's still that macho man type of thing. And, we are losing 2 people a day in the UK in the construction industry. So again, I've brought it to suicide, but the message I'm trying to bring forward is that by talking and changing the narrative, the culture around mental health in the workplace, we are hopefully going to save lives in the long run. And I think that men need to take responsibility of that, because you are role models for others around you, for your sons, for your nephews, for people in your life, and celebrities are also, they are role models for young boys out there. So we have to take responsibility of that, and we have to do our little bit to save lives. And in the long run, that's what we're looking at doing. If we're talking about poor mental health, we're not getting to a place. I mean, we have to differentiate between having a bad day, I'm just having a bad day, or people use words like depression when they are just having a bad day. And I know that, and we need to be realistic about that too. But it doesn't get from a bad day to, taking one's own life. There's a lot of area there to cover in between. And it's really at all those points, where can we intervene? Where can we say, look, it's okay to talk. I'm a really good listener, and let's just build a safe space for you to talk and not be judged on it, not feel that you're going to be judged on it, no matter who you are. Whether you're the CEO of an organization that's thriving, or you're whoever you are, working in the canteens in that massive organization, whoever you are, let's take some responsibility. And this is a message to all men out there. Thank you for listening. I hope that you found the content of this video helpful. It was a little bit of a rant from my point of view, because I'm feeling quite passionate about it, and I think that's probably shown through. But I don't think that's a bad thing. It's how I'm feeling right now, and I hope that if this message just gets out to a few men out there that just think a little bit about what they say when it comes to around mental health, and around when they are in the company of young men that are quite impressionable, and they may be a role model to them, is just to take some responsibility and take the lead there, and hopefully change things, and hopefully in the long run make workplaces healthier environments mentally, and maybe even save lives. Okay. Please do share this video, please do like, please do comment and subscribe. We need more subscribers in order to grow this channel. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, please look after your hearts and souls. Thank you.